Welcome to Power Word Crit, everyone. I will be your GM for today's game. I'm Neil!
Hi, Neil!
I'm bad at this.
So what that was we just came off of our warm-up.
And part of
exactly what happened.
Yeah, and part of the warm-up you have to say, hello, so-and-so, and so we did.
We are well-trained.
A well-oiled machine. I have some quite fantastic players with me this evening. They are...
Hi, my name is Andrew, and I am playing Hicks Keeler, also known as the Rat, and he is the Lurk.
My name is Corin, and I will be playing Svetlana Ajal, and her alias changed from Sven to Kane, with a K. I am the cutter. I cut people.
If you had done Kane with a C, then
Kane
using...
the cutter.
Yeah, using your, like a sword cane.
Or I could just be cutter with a K, because I can't spell.
That's funny.
A noble who can't spell.
Or it could be Scovlin.
It's the Scovlin spelling of it. I accept this. Hi, I'm Ashlyn.
Hi, Ashlyn.
Stop that. I'm playing Lena Felkir, alias Quips, and she is using the Slide playbook.
Marvelous. Well, last time we were together, we built our characters, we put together our crew of smugglers called the Mavericks.
I propose we change our name.
We certainly can.
It came to me earlier today, and I think we would have a missed opportunity if we did not name ourselves the Professional Pirates.
Because we're professional smugglers.
Yes, and I also look like a pirate.
Yeah.
It's really because we're professionals, and pirates are smugglers.
Because you're a professional.
We're not Dropout TV.
Hey, Dropout, sponsor us.
Sure, we'll take it, please.
Don't test them. They're chaotic enough as it is. All right, there's a proposal before the board to change the name from Mavericks to Professional Pirates. Do I have another I?
Aye.
Sure, yeah.
The ayes have it. The name is changed.
Yay!
Aye.
I'm glad it's Professional Pirates because that particular song has a particular place in my heart because it comes from a particular movie. And if you know what it is, you know what I'm talking about.
If you know what it is, tweet at us.
Yeah.
Or send us a DM or something.
Give us a guess. It's fun.
Email us at powerwordcrit@gmail.com.
And we'll send you back a hello, thank you.
Gush about your favorite scene.
Speaking of scenes, I have a choice to present to our lovely crew. Last time, we left off with several roles to potentially decide what their first heist was maybe going to be.
Ah, yes.
Now, we can either play around a little bit, you guys go speak to your contacts and get these jobs live, or we can select a job, discuss it ever so slightly, and then immediately jump into our action for today. What do you guys feel like doing?
First, can you read off what our options were beforehand?
Certainly. Option 1. There is a Leviathan hunter ship that made some undocumented stops on its way back to port. You were supposed to meet them outside the city and bring some things in uninspected. Option 2. There was a blue coat that indicated that there was a vehicle that had been impounded from another crew and would be willing to get it to your crew for a amount of coin, undisclosed, unnegotiated. And the third option is there is a noble whose crimes have left their assets frozen. They have a Leviathan hunter ship. It's full from a recent expedition, but because assets are frozen, it has been forbidden to dock. And the noble would require some of the assets to be brought in for some quick cash flow.
So on this noble here, does he need all of it brought in? Because I don't know that our boat's big enough for that.
Oh, certainly
It's a
not.
little boat.
There's also nothing that says that you have to bring it to the noble. You could just take it. It's an entirely full Leviathan ship that has nowhere to go. But the noble has natural sources for this unprocessed demon ectoplasm blood, and I don't know if you guys have any contacts amongst yourselves. I could be wrong.
We'll take it under consideration. Thank you very much for your information. I'll have to take this back to my crew. All right, so we got some jobs lined up, eh? Yeah.
Coin amount.
You know, I should have talked about it. Maybe I should have had Quips go. She's better at these kind of things.
It's right of you to assume that.
It happened to be somebody I knew. I was talking down at the docks. It was, who was it who was talking to us?
Was it Elena?
Sure, we'll let it have Elena. She's acquainted with all the boat comings and goings.
Elena, you know her. She's the one who set us up with our hideout here, gesturing around to the Titanic. Titinic.
Was it a Leviathan hunter ship?
You know what? It may have been at one point, but had received so much damage and was so scavenged for parts that it is half sunken in whatever waterway it's been left in.
I was going to posit that some enterprising soul had tried turning it into a themed restaurant or something like that, and it failed and has since fallen.
I'm okay with that, because that also means you guys have kind of a drive-up feature, potentially. You maybe have a beaten path to get to the boat.
Quips, Lena is going to look at you. Rat, do you need me to talk to Elena to get more information about these potential jobs? I don't mind doing it.
You might look a little rough on us if we send somebody back.
It's important to get all the information.
Tell you what. Why don't I just bring everybody? Said I had to talk to the crew, and maybe we tell her that you had some questions.
I want to be careful with all of us going together.
All 3 of us.
A crowd can attract unwanted attention regardless.
Kane stands and starts walking out the door. We go.
Kane, dear.
We
please.
go.
Okay.
Go now.
Kane, hold up.
Where's a tavern that Elena frequents?
Can we call it the Nobody's Inn?
I like that.
So like the Nobody's Inn, but INN.
And it's not an inn, it's a tavern?
Is it right next to Cavel Danfield's Inn?
Do you want that to be Cavel's Tavern?
Could be Cavel's Den.
Ooh, I like that too. Let's go to Cavel's Den.
It's a CD bar.
Yeah, it is.
Frequented by dock workers, but plenty of information to be found, plenty of business to be conducted, plenty of privacy to be had. Your crew arrives at Nobody's Inn Tavern.
Cavel's Den?
No.
Or Cavel's Den.
Whichever. It goes by multiple names.
We said it was nearby.
The name changes on the weekly.
Oh, okay, there we go. So we're going to Nobody's Inn, but we look wistfully at Cavel's Den because we really want to drink and eat, but we have no coin.
Oh, I really do want a drink right now, but Cavel's cut me off.
I do want to go ahead and describe. So this singular coin is more of a abstract idea of wealth. Technically, you guys all have the amount of pocket change. So you guys can go, you can eat at places. As long as you're not spending exuberant amounts of money, you generally have pocket coin to perform a thing. So for example, on a heist, if you were going to, say, bribe a guard, you wouldn't necessarily spend a coin to bribe the guard. You would have an amount of pocket change that you use to bribe the guard, maybe in the moment, maybe beforehand, and it is reflected more in the action that you roll as opposed to the resource that you spend.
Unless we were needing to really pay somebody off.
To like get some heat off us or something.
That is a thing that can potentially come up later. For scale, a single coin amounts to about a purse of silver, a week's worth of wages. 2 coin is enough wages for a small business for a week. 4 coin sits somewhere in the realm of about a month's wages. 6 coin, a heavy burden of silver. 8 coin, a good monthly take for a small business. 10 coin is a liquefied asset, a deed to a small property. That's about as high as the scales go, generally speaking. You guys have 1 coin right now. It's on the lower scale.
Hicks would have, after directing where to go, taking Lena's.
Lena, or you can call her Quips. You all know Lena's real name. She prefers that you call her Quips when we're on a job.
That's fair. Well, taking Quip's advice is that of not all going together, Hicks would have gone ahead in a sneaky fashion, keeping an eye out, perhaps.
Making sure no one was watching your contact as you approach. Easy enough thing to do.
Lena is going to head towards Nobody's Inn and thread her arm through Kane's arm to keep their pace even. And she's going to pat her arm and say, "Oh dear, I'm so excited for this place we're going. Aren't you?"
Yes.
Oh, you're such a talker.
What does Lena look like?
She looks like a pirate. She has the leather pirate coat. It is threadbare and tattered a bit at the edges, but it looks like it was once a very fine leather coat. The clothes underneath the coat, they're very tattered and worn, but you can tell that they used to be very fine. It looks like she probably just hasn't been able to acquire a new outfit in recent times, or maybe these are sentimental to her. She also has a fine tricorn hat. This hat is probably the nicest looking article of clothing that she owns. There is not a ripped seam or a broken crack of leather anywhere on this thing. She takes excellent care of this hat. She wears a bandana around her head. She actually doesn't have any hair. She will actually shave off her hair as hair grows in or whatever. She likes having a smooth scalp.
As do I.
That was Corin, not Kane. But she wears a bandana to cover her bald head and underneath the pirate hat. She's also very dark-skinned, very similar to African or African-American. She also has worn leather boots, very pirate-esque of her. She has a ruby earring, just one, on her left ear.
The camera pans to Kane.
Kane has an oversized coat on. Think like oversized gentleman's coats from the 1800s. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like goes all the way down, maybe like a trench coat-esque. Very bulky, very shapeless. Kane has a buzz cut with blonde hair, light blue, icy eyes. Tall, but if you look closely in her boots, you will see that there's a couple inches extra on them. On the insides, she's got lift inserts to make her look a little bit taller than she actually is. Dress is androgynous, but her hat currently has frays in the back. It's a very well-worn wide brim hat, but it's frayed in the back to make it kind of look like she may have brownish hair, just like frays going on the back. Very confusing if you look at what she looks like now versus if she took her coat off on purpose. And the rat.
And trailing behind them is Hicks, the rat, as he is known in certain circles, and he has got pointed rat-like features. He is human, contrary to what some might say. He is very pale and always looks wet.
Would you say he's perpetually moist?
He is.
Yeah.
For frame of reference, think of Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Do you have an oiled overcoat because you work or live near the docks?
Yeah. He has very nondescript clothes. They're not black, because contrary to popular belief, black doesn't hide well in the dark. You want something that is more like a gray or a green or a brown or something like that. And he is good at being unobtrusive and is shuffling along behind them, some distance away.
You all enter the inn, and for current time being, Elena has circumstances that have required her to get a room, so you find her in the sitting area down below, off to a corner by herself, wonderfully absent from any listening ears or prying eyes.
Oh, Elena, darling, it's so wonderful to see you. It's been so long.
Good to see you, too.
I have a little friend who tells me you might have leads on potential jobs for us.
I might. You have a boat, yes?
Oh, yes, we do have a boat.
Oh, good. Then I have jobs for you.
I'm happy to hear about them.
How much payment?
It's this one I like. You see, she doesn't talk quite as much, not with the flowery language. Not that I don't mind it. It's very always nice to hear your voice.
Elena doesn't take offense.
Unless you want to go take the carriage from the blue coat, you could pay him and get the carriage, or you could just take the carriage from the impound. I don't care one way or the other. I don't like the blue coats. But there is a noble. He is wanting to have assets. There is a buyer lined up to take the product from his ship. It's in the dock, within the lightning cage. You have to go out to it, get cargo, come back. But because his assets are frozen, there is a blue coat presence on the boat to make sure that they don't go anywhere, they don't get in trouble. So don't know how you're going to deal with that, but he wants cargo. He wants enough to live off of. Honestly, 2 or 3 would be fine. If you want to get more, I won't say anything.
Hicks sidles out behind the tall armchair that had been there.
The other option is there is a captain of a boat who would like to remain nameless. He is outside the lightning fence because there are things he would like to make sure come inside the lightning fence and do not getting him in trouble.
Again, payment. How much?
The noble is offering 4 coin for delivery, and I have a contact that will take 2 coin for any goods beyond what the noble is asking for. Again, the noble only wants 3-4 canisters of unprocessed oil. If you get more, I make it worth your while. The captain outside the lightning fence, unclear. He says that he will share cut of whatever it is he's bringing in. Will not tell me what it is he's bringing in. He says, I guarantee 6 coin, but again, I don't know what it is he has, don't know how difficult it is, don't know who you would have to talk to get a hold of it, but could probably guarantee at least 4 coin for your troubles for that one.
There's a lot of unknowns with him, though.
But where's the reward without taking some risk?
Yeah. I always like a chance to stick it to the bluecoats, though.
Oh, that is true.
Could also stick it to the aristocrat, just saying.
There's plenty more on that. On his shipment, I imagine.
I am leaning towards the nobleman myself. How about you, Kane?
Guaranteed coin, yes.
Too much we don't know about this guy outside.
Maybe we can help him once we establish more stable information of what the job would pertain to.
I will try and ask, but he may not sit there forever. Others may come along, take a chance, but
That is entirely up to them.
nevertheless, I will ask. You guys are good. I will do what I can.
Well, we are professionals. And Lena gives a little smile.
Thanks, Elena. You always hook us up with good stuff.
If you're interested in taking up the offer for the noble, I can give him a heads up. Maybe get a message to the captain.
I think that's... Yeah. That's what we're up to.
Yes, sounds marvelous. Thank you, Elena. A dear as always.
I try. You have to remember me when things get better, yeah?
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah, of course.
Now, crew, do you know how you would like to approach this job?
What are our options?
You can take an approach of an assault, perform a deception, make this a stealth mission, an occult mission, a social mission, or a transport mission.
The most obvious is transport, because that's what we are trying to do. But that's maybe not as important as getting in undetected. Either stealth or transport.
What does transport technically entail?
Carrying cargo or people through danger. While it could be a matter of getting the cargo on the ship and then getting away, once you get away, there's not a whole lot of transport or difficulties for you guys to roll because the ship can't go anywhere.
I think stealth.
That's certainly where Hix's capabilities lean into.
The point of infiltration is the detail you need to provide for such a stealth mission. How do you guys want to get into this ship?
We could go the social option because we have really good documents. We could try to say some have been unfrozen and we need to take these to whatever.
I lean towards stealth, and if we get caught, maybe then we pivot to social.
I like that plan. Think that's what Quips would be good at. On the spot, trying to flirt her way out of danger.
The point of infiltration is the detail that we need to figure out. Either we can go through the side of the ship, or a back area maybe, or... Are these like iron ships?
Yes, they are iron-plated and probably other kinds of plated because of what they have to fight.
Up and over, porthole, something like that.
Usually these kind of ships aren't too concerned about people getting in. They're more concerned about the big creatures getting in.
Or the goods getting out.
I don't think their security is too tight. Now the trick too is getting to it if it's guarded.
There is a small brigade of bluecoats that have been stationed on board the ship. The crew and the captain aren't technically under imprisonment or lock and key, but they're also not permitted to leave the vessel.
Gotcha. Let's do stealth. I would like to take a heavy load with me.
Okay, I don't think you have to define what those items are now.
No.
You only have to define that you will be taking a heavy load.
Correct. So I will be taking 6 load worth of items.
Lena likes to travel light.
I'm definitely going to need to take my tools with me. So I'm going to go normal. I was kind of thinking of moving one of my points from finesse to tinker for using that to get through locks or things like that is where he would have skills.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
We're going to try and sneak our way up to the boat. If there are fences or guards or anything like that, we're going to try and get past them. Do want to have our boat come up beside it. And that way we can get the canisters down and out.
I think that would make the most sense. I would also suggest backing in so that we're facing out for a quick getaway.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's time for the engagement roll.
Ah,
The engagement roll is a fortune roll. It defines your approach to the vessel. You will naturally get 1 die for sheer luck. You get 1 more die for any major advantage you receive, and you lose a die for any major disadvantage you receive. I am of the mind to give you an extra die because no one has really considered robbing a Leviathan hunter ship before, so this is unexpected and surprising. The Bluecoats are there to make sure the crew doesn't go anywhere. They're not necessarily concerned about what's coming. So
Good.
I think you have an element of surprise on your side, so I'm going to give you another die for your engagement roll. Major disadvantage. If you are spotted, you have nowhere else to go, and if you try and get away, they're going to see you get away.
I feel like that's more of a risk than a disadvantage, though.
This is true.
We aren't inherently at a disadvantage going into it, unless it's a very clear area and they have spotlights out.
Spotlights would make it difficult to approach. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a singular fortune roll for the ship. Do they have spotlights out on the water around the Leviathan hunter? If you get a 4, 5, or 6, the answer is yes. 1 to 3, they do not. That is a 6. So there are, in fact, floodlights panning around and watching the water to make sure that nothing else rams into the Leviathan hunter, because they are dead in the water.
Does that take 1 die away from
That is
us?
going to take 1 die away. So we are going to have a single die for your engagement. Are we ready?
yep.
That is a 5. It is a mixed result. So, night of the heist, your boat is approaching the Leviathan hunter. The lights are out on the water. Who would like to make the first action to guide our boat up alongside the Leviathan hunter?
The lights aren't stationary, they're moving, correct?
That is correct.
So there are points in time where the lights are not covering maybe the spot that we've chosen to place our boat against.
Precisely.
Can we take a few moments to watch the timing of the lights, maybe see if there's a pattern to them, and determine if there is a significant length of time where there are no lights on that spot of water?
Most certainly. What kind of action would you like to roll, Captain?
Survey, perhaps?
Survey is an option.
Survey a location or situation to understand what's going on. Sense trouble before it happens. Gather information about opportunities or exploits.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
In that case, make a survey roll.
I would like to assist.
They're already using their teamwork. I'm so happy.
So I would like to use one of my items, which was subterfuge supplies. Will this work?
Subterfuge supplies. Does that have a description next to it?
Subterfuge supplies. A theatrical makeup kit. A selection of blank documents ready for the forger's hand. Costume jewelry. A reversible cloak and distinctive hat. A forged bag of office.
Don't think that's what's going to help you.
What were you aiming for? How did you think that you might be able to add?
I was going to try and disguise the boat as much as possible to match the color of the water and the shadows and things like that.
Rather than an assist, that almost sounds like a flashback. A flashback for a setup roll.
How does I do?
In a flashback, you decide that you want to do something to give somebody a bonus. So you want to camouflage the boat. We have spent time doing this to make it so it's good. And then Neil, as the game master, decides how much stress that's worth. It might be 0. If it's something that was easily done and then was readily accessible, or it might be 1 stress if it took some extra work, or it might be 2 if it seems like, hey, that's a bit of a stretch, so it's going to cost you more. Like the cutter consorted with her friend Chael to agree to arrive at the dice game ahead of the time to suddenly spring out as a surprise ally. 1 stress would be a complex action or an unlikely opportunity. 2 or more stress is an elaborate action that involved special opportunities or contingencies.
Gotcha.
I might suggest that we had plenty of opportunity and time, and we already have a bit of an ability with our boat, so it wouldn't be too hard to make it unobtrusive in motion.
Kane, what action were you wanting to take for this setup to help disguise the boat?
I was either going to paint our boat to look very similar to the color of the boat that we will be up against, so it's a little bit harder to distinguish from our boat to the bigger boat, or I was going to paint it the same color as the emergency boats on top to make it look like an emergency boat may have fallen off.
Oh, like a lifeboat.
Like a lifeboat, yeah.
Finesse is subtle misdirection. Sway is disguise.
It might be prowl. About unseen and traverse obstacles, climb, swim, run, jump, and tumble.
I think any of those suggested could work. Is there one in particular that you would like to use as the cutter of the crew?
I would like to use either prowl or sway because I have a dot in those.
I would accept either.
Let's do prowl. What is my position?
So the idea here is this is a setup roll. This will be risky for standard effect. If you fail, then Lena will not get any sort of increased effect, which I should go ahead and ask. Since you're performing a setup roll, do you want to improve the effect that Lena's roll has, or do you want to improve the position of the roll? The difference here is the effect would mean that you are better hidden and better maneuvered through with a good roll, versus a better position, which is slightly less consequence.
I think the first one.
For greater effect. Okay.
Yeah, for greater effect. Can I also push myself in a assist?
I don't see a reason why you couldn't.
That takes stress, right?
To push yourself, you need to take 2 stress, and you may add 1 die or 1 effect to your roll. I presume you want the extra die.
The extra die, yes. First roll. I got a 3 and a 5.
A 5. Excellent. It works. You have successfully managed to make it camouflage. Now, I want a definite answer. Is it looking like the water below at night, or is it looking like one of the fallen lifeboats on the Leviathan Hunter?
I think it's going to look like a fallen lifeboat.
Then I'm going to start an 8 clock. And this 8 clock is the boat gets noticed. And one of the 8 is shaded in. As you guys potentially draw more attention to yourselves and or your boat, you may get discovered and escape will get more difficult.
Does discovery happen once we fill all 8 parts?
That is the idea, yes. You do have increased effect on your roll, Lena.
Okay, I'm doing a survey. I have 1 circled in for survey, so just 1 die?
If you would like, you may choose to push yourself for an extra die. Normally it would have been risky for standard, but because of the setup of the disguise, it is risky for great effect.
I would like to assist her in also surveying. I would like to also keep an eye out to watch the things, and so I would like to spend a stress to assist.
Because of the assist action from Hicks, you now have 2 die.
Okay.
Without having to spend any extra stress yourself, you just have 2 dice. We only want to look at your highest die.
Gotcha.
Luck be a lady. Oh, hey, look, a 5.
That is success with a consequence. And the consequence will be I'm going to fill in 1 more high piece.
Probably because we're spending the extra time out here as
Yeah.
opposed to keeping moving.
We're trying to back in so we have an easier getaway.
Exactly. You guys are up alongside the ship.
All right, you'll stay put for a minute. I'll make my way up and give you the signal.
Don't forget to lower the rope.
I would like to scramble up the side.
Ooh, okay. How would you like to do that? What action would you like to take to get up
Certainly prowl.
the side? A prowl roll. Oh, from the lurk? Oh.
This is my specialty. I've got 3 pips in this.
Marvelous. It is risky for standard effect.
Just as a note, one of my special abilities is Infiltrator. So if there were any security measures, I would be able to ignore their quality or tier.
Ooh, okay.
And we will take a 5 out of that. The tier, as I understand, goes into the conversation of your effect. So if they were a much higher tier, I would only have limited or no effect.
That is correct.
And so I can just drop that down into standard effect.
Excellent.
Or great effect is
Yes.
what that would be.
So 5 is, again, success with a consequence, risky for standard effect.
I am able to scramble up the side, maybe knock something over. There's a tense moment as a guard passes by.
A guard does hear the clattering of something that fell over, comes to investigate, but you, being the lurk that you are, you duck behind the shadows as the guard comes over, sees the thing that fell off, picks it up, puts it back on the crate, and goes back around on their patrol. And you can see that there is a rather sparse population up here on the ship. There's a couple of blue coats walking around. Most of them seem to be manually manning the floodlights and making sure that there's nothing about. And most of them seem bored. They don't have much else to do. So yes, your consequence will be you got an attention, something happened, so 1 more pie piece is going to be filled in.
We are sitting at 3 of our 8 right now,
We're fine.
but we can only be fine for so long.
Hmm.
And we have yet to get everybody in and start getting people out. I'm going to lower the rope. While they are grabbing it, I want to look around for where the entrance below decks might be.
Where the hold is.
An easy enough thing to do. There's a rather large doorway leading into indoor quarters that quickly leads below decks. May I ask, where did the rope come from?
That's a grand old thing. I'm going to have to mark off one of my load for that, I imagine. That is climbing gear.
Takes 2 load for that, right?
Yes. Good thing I've got 5.
You guys came ready to play. It's fine. We're doing great.
Do you guys do anything when you get out?
Lena is going to immediately clock the blue coats, see how bored they look.
Give them good time.
Not yet. We still want to be sneaky about this, Kane.
I stash away my weapon.
Rat, you've found the way to the hold?
Yeah, it's just over here. Come on.
Following after Rat.
I am going to pull out burglary gear.
Ooh, okay. What's the description of this?
Again, I just have burglary gear.
Okay, hang on. This is exciting. We have so many gears, so much fun.
We're just assuming we know what's in it.
A set of lockpicks, a small pry bar, vials of oil to silence squeaky hinges, a coil of wire and fishing hooks, a small pouch of fine sand.
I'm going to start applying oil to the hinges. I'm going to start lightly tapping on it to find any weaknesses. And then I guess I'm going to try and open the door.
Excellent. What action would you like to use to get past this door leading below decks?
I would love to use skirmish, but I can't. I don't think I
Fight
can.
the door!
I'm going to fight the door.
You have applied all this stuff. Could we have the rat actually attempt to open the door?
That could be easy enough to do.
I've applied. I guess I'll do another setup or an assist.
Because assisting is after somebody has said that they want to do a thing, then like, I want to help do that thing.
All right, here is what I'm going to say. We may learn later that this is incorrect, and we'll just correct it from there. You are spending one of your items to make it easier to open the door. So I'm going to say this is a setup roll, but I'm not going to ask for a roll because you've spent the item to perform the task. So you can set up Hicks to open the door. Now, do you want to add added effect or an improved position?
I think I want to improve position.
That would make it, when I rolled, it would drop me from risky to controlled. So that if it seemed like, hey, this was a bad situation, then I can basically try it again.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. How would you like to open this door?
Very carefully and quietly.
Excellent.
Are there security measures on it? Is it locked?
There is a lock on the door. It is not currently engaged.
So we're just going to quietly open the door. Does this require a roll?
You did use a burglary kit to set it up, and your friend has examined the door to find a lock. I'm going to say yes, the burglary kit is enough for you to oil the hinges and make sure that it doesn't squeak. These are very old hinges, but you have cleaned them up to a point where it shouldn't be an issue. So yes, I will say the door opens without so much as a whisper.
Hicks looks back at Kane, gives you a thumbs up and a crooked grin, because that's how he always grins. He only uses half of his mouth. And he's going to make his way in and shoo everybody in.
Lena's going to be the last one in. She's going to do one last cursory glance as she believes something to keep the door propped open.
To keep it from fully latching in place.
Correct.
Okay. Why don't you give me a roll for this?
I think this would be a finesse roll, so a single die. When I push myself, do I get an extra die?
You can either take an extra die or take an added effect.
What does the added effect do?
Instead of risky for standard, you will have risky for great. On a 4 or 5, you will fill in 1 tick of the pie piece. On a failure, maybe 3 pieces, depending on how hard the door shuts. Success regardless, you will set up your crew for a quicker escape, because you won't have to unlatch the door in order to make your way back up. So this will be a setup for later.
What do you guys think would be the better option?
I'd say go for the extra dice.
Okay, then that's what I shall do. I rolled a 3, even with that.
The 3's the highest you got?
Yep.
As you attempt to finagle something into the door, it slips at the last moment, and the door shuts.
Making a loud bang.
Yes. I had said 3 pieces, I'm only going to fill in 2. Because it's not unusual for someone to go below deck. It may be a little unusual at this time of night, but a guard may come and investigate the door to be safe.
Okay. going to follow after my crewmates.
Now, I suppose at this point is a fun time to ask, have any of you ever been aboard a Leviathan hunter?
Probably yes. Not out on the sea, but certainly on and off the ship. Hicks's family are dock workers. They are very familiar with the hold of a ship in moving stuff on and off of it.
I see.
A Leviathan hunter is just a type of ship. Is it very different from other ships?
I would say yes.
It's like a giant sea vessel, right?
Yes, a Leviathan hunter is the equivalent of a battleship, as opposed to like a pleasure yacht. It is a lot bigger, it is equipped to hold more gear and things. It's not like a crab fishing boat, because it's got to be able to take the hits from the Leviathans.
What about a merchant vessel?
That's what I was going to ask. How do we think it's different between a normal cargo ship versus one that is specifically meant to go out hunting these giant sea beasts and hold their blood in these canisters and such things?
Merchant vessels are smaller, they're a little faster, still decently armored. Generally speaking, they'll have similar enough blueprints, I suppose. Holds are typically at the bottom. A Leviathan hunter is probably a little bigger. I haven't fully established how a Leviathan hunter would collect the blood from a Leviathan, or what, or how. Probably there are a lot more weapons and equipment on the top deck than, say, a merchant vessel would have.
Cool, because that fits with my background.
Hey.
I walked right into that.
Lena used to sail on these ships as part of her family's trade. She would have an inkling of where to find the hold as well, in conjunction with Hicks.
I follow with my hands in my pockets.
Is it hard to find where the cargo is?
I don't think so. I am going to ask, are you looking to avoid people below deck?
Yes, that is our assumption until it is untenable.
I would say then I need a roll from somebody, potentially a lead the group action of some kind.
I would like to lead a group action in prowling quietly.
Wonderful! Prowling through the echoey, deep, cavernous ship to make your way down to the hold. Everyone is rolling prowl. For any of your comrades that fail, you will take 1 point of stress. So you could potentially take 2, you could potentially take none. However, the group succeeds on the highest roll amongst the 3 of you.
Gotcha. I have 1.
If I don't have any in prowl, that means I roll with disadvantage.
Correct. You roll 2 die and take the lowest.
I have 2 6s.
I also have 2 6s.
Sweet.
I got a 4.
A 4
Hooray!
is still a success, so you take no stress.
Yeah.
You got a critical!
You did get a critical.
We got
which,
2 criticals.
Which
Well, I technically had disadvantage. I don't know if
that's
that
right.
counts.
typically this would have been risky for standard effect. This is risky for great effect. Through a series of delightful coincidences of turning quarters and seeing sailors emerge from certain doors, you get an idea of where the crew might be hanging out, and it's late at night. Most of them are probably trying to sleep. There is in fact a card game going on, and the door is slightly ajar, and you just wait for a new hand, and people are dealing and looking at their cards. You all make your way by, and you manage to find where the cargo hold is.
Sweet. Are there 8 canisters?
Are there 8 canisters?
Probably lots. Anyways, we're probably not going to be able to carry that many anyways.
Oh, certainly not, because as you reach the cargo hold, you see some of the processing equipment that puts it into these smaller canisters for transport, and you see the rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of canisters. This is a Leviathan hunter. The entire purpose is you are getting some quick cash flow, and with the amount of money you guys were getting, you're beginning to understand just how much money this aristocrat was getting from his Leviathan hunter's business.
Jeepers, this is a big old ship.
No wonder he is an aristocrat.
How many do we think we want to get out of here? I don't know that I can carry more than 1 with being careful out here. I mean, Kane, you might be able to. I don't know.
I would like at least 6.
How many can the average person carry?
These are rather heavy. I would say typically only 1 or 2 if they are particularly burly. I am happy to hand wave that Kane can get 2, but I would say that Hicks and Lena can really only get 1.
Are there any trolleys that we could load some of these canisters into, drape a fabric over them, make it seem like a food trolley of sorts?
Or get them into a crate or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Or crate. How do we get the crate up, though? Because that would also be heavy.
I was thinking of doing a flashback, but I've already done one.
You can do more. As long as you have stress to spend, you can perform a flashback.
Okay. I would like to do a flashback of me going back to Elena, because Elena said that she would let the captain and the crew know that we were coming.
Yeah.
I would like to slip her a letter to ask the captain to make sure that either levies or trolleys or give us an idea of the best way to get these out. But I want two options: the quietest way and the most ridiculous way possible.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Fantastic. This is a very simple matter. Go ahead and take 1 stress for this flashback of information, and here's what you gained. You could carry these canisters all the way back up the way you've climbed, back over to the railing and down, or you could open up the back cargo bay and run them out the backside, because this is very deep within the ship, and there is a platform that opens up, which is usually how they unload this stuff. It's the quickest and easiest way to unload all of the oil cargo. But normally you only open this up when you've docked, because if you open this up at open sea, you run the risk of the tide getting in, getting all wet, which I will even go so far as to say your boat is docked near where this cargo door would be.
Cool. So question, does climbing gear include like a net of some sort or burglary gear or something like that?
I don't think it does.
I would be willing to check off an unusual weapon for a net.
Okay, then yes, you have a net available if you will mark off that load value. So yes, you guys have access to a net.
I got your net.
Okay, I would like to load 8 canisters. We'll put the net over the trolley, put the canisters into the net, tie the net up, and then I'm assuming there is some sort of crane to lower these down.
There is not. The way I have this cargo door envisioned in my mind is that there is a backside or side of the boat, and there is a descending drawbridge-like platform that extends out from the ship.
Okay.
And not really a crane to pull things out. If there was, the crane would take a lot of effort to pull out and swing around, and would probably be very, very noisy.
We might be able to just cart it straight onto the boat, is what you're suggesting.
There is a strong possibility of this,
Gotcha.
yes.
Okay. I want to do another flashback. Somebody else can go.
I mean, what are your thoughts?
I have no thoughts, so if you can ping pong some things,
Okay.
and I will.
You don't
try
have
to
to
take
keep
one.
it. You don't have to keep it secret.
This is true.
Well, I just want to make sure that you guys
Yeah.
get chances before I
Yeah.
start bloviating some stuff.
I have no thoughts.
Okay, so in the same flashback, after I drop this letter off, when I walk out, Quips is there. I turn to Quips and go, I like fireworks. Do you like fireworks?
Yes, but this is supposed to be a stealth mission, Kane.
I look back at Elena. Dock firework? Distraction.
That's a good idea.
You pop up. Hello.
You don't mean for us to set up the fireworks, you mean to pay someone to set up fireworks out in the dock?
Correct.
I can probably get somebody to do that. I know Robbie. He'd probably do it. We'd have to get the fireworks first, probably. He doesn't have access, but he'd be willing to do it.
I hand over some pennies.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
I'll see what I can do. I'd be willing to spend stress for that flashback.
This is fantastic and wonderful. I'm going to say go ahead and take 2 stress to set up Roddy to be able to set off these fireworks on the dock.
2 stress. And I said Robbie, but I think Roddy is good.
Roddy and his brother Robbie.
Yeah, yep, it's the 2 of them.
They're twins.
They were pyros as children.
I mean, the pyros now.
The pirate didn't go away.
So suddenly the camera cuts back to a scene in a back alley behind the docks where Hicks is speaking to Roddy.
See, what we gotta do here is I'm gonna need you to get these over the docks while we are doing something else.
Well, listen, the last time we went and set up fireworks, the coats were on us in no time flat. And the dockers, they weren't too happy with us setting off the thing. I mean,
you know how to use a fuse. Get a long one.
Oh, no, that's pretty clever. But what if they catch us? Well, no, he's got a point. What if they catch us? I mean, this is a lot of trouble for us. I can't kind of, and he's kind of holding his hand out. I mean, this is kind of difficult.
We got you, and give him some silver.
I'm sure we could work something out. Yeah. So yeah, coordinated and spoken through at this particular time, you all hear within the belly of the ship a distant boom.
That's our signal. Let's go.
I look at Quips. Give blue coats good time.
They can have their good time now.
Boom, boom, boom.
We start lowering the cargo door.
Fantastic. Can I get a roll from you for lowering the cargo door?
Oh no, I said it. What am I doing?
Congratulations, you've fallen into my trap.
Oh no, what would this be? I command it.
Technically, you can use any action to do anything. I will accept anything you'd like to propose. Some things will have more limited effect.
You skirmish it.
I was thinking about skirmishing.
You're just fighting with the ropes.
Question to the keeper, or the
whatever the heck I am.
Game master.
Yes, hello, hi.
What's the danger here?
It's a mechanized door that is lowering, and you have people on the ship. It is a very big ship, and you have a distraction going off. But there may still be a blue coat that realizes that there's an extra noise other than the fireworks going off.
I'm going to use wreck. So I wreck a place, item, or obstacle with savage force or carefully applied sabotage. Breach defenses with force or create distractions and chaos.
Well, there goes our subtle.
Well, that would do it. Okay, yeah, you are,
as a cutter does.
This will get us rep. I'm okay with it.
Because we're professionals.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to bring the trolley up to the end. Look at the vast array of levees and pulleys. I'm going to look at Hicks.
So what you want to do, Kane, is you want to use that one right there. That lever should open things up.
And then I'm going to kick it. Just whack as hard as I possibly can. And if I hit some other levers, that's fine too. I'm also going to take a stress so I can get a second die. Or 2 stress to do.
You're going to push yourself for the extra die. Okay. Oh, a lot of stress being built up. I love this. Okay, yes.
Does anybody want to help?
How do I help?
Describe what you are doing in the fiction to help, and then we will decide what that means.
You're just brutally attacking
I'm
this
brutally
door.
kicking the lever.
Kicking down a door. I don't know if you're...
No. I'm kicking the levers on the door.
Sure. Before you get there, Lena is going to help by finding the button that would actually unleash the cargo hold, but maybe it's a slower process, and so combined, the button will help unlatch the door.
Oh yeah, we forgot the unlatch. She finds the unlatch.
And then you override the mechanism by having it go down faster.
Are you assisting in this roll?
Yes, I'm assisting.
All right, go ahead and take 1 stress, and you have another die to your roll.
Thanks.
Are you looking for another die to roll?
Yes.
Would you like a devil's bargain?
Ooh, what was that? Give me a devil's bargain.
She's a daredevil.
You may have an extra die. In exchange, you're going to have 2 extra heat at the end of the evaluation. Because breaking into a ship and banging down the cargo door, potentially breaking it entirely, leaving it open out on the water, where a Leviathan hunter might actually sink into the bay. Yeah, I think that would add more heat.
I know you as a Chaos Gremlin want more heat, want more dice. I don't know that we need it, though. You've got 3 dice, right?
Well, here's the thing. I'm thinking if it sinks, we can technically go back and get more that's been sunken in the bay.
But that'd be a lot harder.
But if we get out of this scot clean, then we can come back later.
We're professionals.
Like, this boat's not going anywhere.
Okay, I won't take the bargain.
What a shame. We'll try again later.
Man, that devil voice.
Okay, goodbye, devil.
Goodbye.
I'm just continuing to kick down the door. You guys hear me say that. All right.
What's she talking about?
What the devil is she talking about?
The devil. I got 3 4s.
Oh my god.
That is a success with a consequence. This was risky for standard effect. You successfully kick it. You have broken this particular lever, and the door opens up at a faster rate. There's still a lot of weight on these chains holding the door shut, so with the successful unlatching, the door falls, it opens up, and there's your boat, just not too far away. The consequence here, I think I'm going to fill 2 more pieces on your pie. You are at 7 of 8.
So we have not been discovered yet.
There's fireworks, and that is why it was 2 instead of 3 that were filled in.
Fair. Hicks is going to scramble up and over the door. Even as it's closing down, he's going to jump down onto the boat, try and get things ready, and try and guide the cart over.
Lena is going to help Kane grab these canisters. Or we already have the canisters in the net, right?
Yeah, it's all loaded up. It's on a cart. It's under a net. We just got to get it onto the ship and get going.
So going to help Kane take the cart with the goods in the net and guide it up and over this door that we've let loose.
All right. Is there an action you would like to do to get it quietly on your vessel?
I feel like this would be finesse, unless someone thinks there's another potential.
I think it's finesse or prowl.
Finesse is better for me. I'm also going to push myself. I'm going to take some more stress.
Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I'm now sitting at 5 stress.
What?
Yep.
Holy cow. I'm assisting with this, if that's fair.
Is this out of guilt for the amount of stress that's been gained so far?
That, and I feel like this is something that he probably would have done anyway.
Okay, so you do have an extra die to this roll.
Okay, so I have a total of 3 die.
This is a risky for standard.
A 1, a 2, and a 2.
Oh, no. That is a failure.
Wait, is there some sort of resistance that can happen?
Yes.
When your PC suffers a consequence that you don't like, you can choose to resist it. Just tell the GM, no, I don't think so. I'm resisting that. Resistance is always automatically effective. The GM will tell you if the consequence is reduced in severity or if you just avoid it entirely. Then, you'll make a resistance roll to see how much stress your character suffers as a result of their resistance. You make the roll using one of your character's attributes: insight, prowess, or resolve. The GM chooses the attribute based on the nature of the consequences. Insight would be consequences from deception or understanding, prowess would be consequences from physical strain or injury, and resolve would be consequences from mental strain or willpower. Your character suffers 6 stress when they resist, minus the highest die result from the resistance roll. So if you rolled a 4, you'd suffer 2 stress. If you rolled a 6, you'd suffer 0 stress. If you get a critical result, you also clear 1 stress. How we decide how many dice you get.
It's based on how many pips you have in those 3 categories, right?
Yeah. For example, I have 2 dots in that first column of insight. So my resistance for insights are 2. I have 3 dots in my prowess, but I only have 1 in my resolve section. So I would only roll 1.
Gotcha.
Does this only work with harm?
It's any consequence.
And I would have to be the one to do this, because it was on my fail roll.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to attempt to resist it.
Okay.
Taking a little bit of a gamble here, because I have only 4 stress. You fill up 9 stress, then your character disappears. Or something.
Your character will be out for the remainder of the heist.
Yeah, you get too stressed out and like, I can't deal with this.
Okay, I'm going to attempt it.
You will take 6 stress, and I am going to ask for a prowess roll.
Now, fortunately, I'm hoping that this is pretty close to the end of the heist. We just have to get away.
You guys are very close.
Luck be a lady. 2 night.
What's your highest die?
3. That puts me at 8. Okay, I'm still good.
Excellent.
Luck was still with me.
Yeah, no more helping.
No more helping. And I can't push myself anymore.
The net begins to come loose, and the containers are beginning to run off.
Because Lena has a few throwing knives, she is going to very quickly secure the knot to help the ropes from continuing to fray.
You do so, you keep the containers from flying all over everywhere. They are on your ship with the trolley.
Make sure you mark off throwing knives on your list.
Oh, no, I already had.
Cool.
You guys are almost in the clear.
When my companions are on the boat, I am going to wait for the big finale of the fireworks, where it's like boom, 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 boom. And when I do that, I'm going to kick the panel again in the opposite direction to try and raise the cargo door, and then in a cool fashion walk off as the cargo door is coming up, and I'm going to walk off into the boat.
Interesting. What are you wanting to roll for this?
Skirmish, of course.
If you roll skirmish, it will be risky for limited effect. I'm okay if you want to roll skirmish.
What would be a better option?
At this point, I don't think you need to do wreck. I would almost say finesse to work the panel, or prowl. Prowl is you hit the thing, and Prowl is your movement to get out, up the door, and onto the ship.
Let's do Prowl.
Okay. Prowl will be risky for standard effects.
I'm going to resist. I rolled a 1.
Oh, okay.
Kane's showboating on the boat.
I was going to say that consequence was going to be a finished alert clock as well as harm. Maybe you got your leg caught in the door as you were trying to get out.
I'll take the harm, but I want to reduce the clock.
You want to keep the clock from ticking forward. Okay.
That's my devil's bargain to you.
So, I mean, this is a
Come
fair...
back here, devil. I have a bargain for you.
So this is a fair thing, because those are technically 2 consequences.
They are, yes.
You're within your rights to only be able to resist one of them.
I will want to resist the clock. Would it be under prowess that you want me to do that?
I am actually going to make it resolve, because in this case, the clock would be you are injured, you are mentally restraining yourself from screaming and alerting the blue coats above.
Okay. I can do that. I got a 5.
You will only take 1 stress from this resolution. I think I'm going to give you a level 2 harm, and the harm will be broken leg.
Ooh.
Some portion of it is not what it should be. You didn't quite get your last foot out, and you managed to pull it out at the last minute, and it's not sitting right, and it's causing you pain. But you don't scream, you don't trigger the clock, and you find yourself back on the boat, whether it be you splashed and you were pulled back aboard, or you fell onto the boat itself. But you are back on the boat.
I'm sitting there looking at my leg going, ow,
What did you do that for?
ow.
Wait until we leave.
Let's go.
Lena is going to help direct the boat to begin to make its departure. Again, waiting for those lights to be at a pause so that we can make our escape, hopefully unnoticed.
Are you leading this, or are you asking to assist someone?
Assisting would require a stress.
It would, yes.
I've only got 1 finesse, and I've got 1 remaining stress.
Elena, you're looking too stressed out. Take a seat. I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'm going to attempt to do this with finesse.
Do you want a devil's bargain?
I'm going to push myself here for it.
You're going to push yourself. Okay.
Oh, wait, that's 2. Not just 1.
It is 2 stress.
What's your bargain?
I'll make the same offer as I got before. You will be spotted as you're leaving. You'll get off scot-free, but you'll have a little extra heat when everything is said and done.
We do want a little bit of heat in order to get rep.
That's true.
I think that might be a good bargain.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
I will also give an assist.
You had 1, you took a bargain for another one, and you taking assist for 3? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Please
Ow.
roll better than me.
That's what I'm going to try.
Light, move left.
Yeesh. 1, 2, 2.
Oh, you rolled like the same as me.
As you are leaving, you are discovered. Your boat is spotted, and 1 gets a shot off. I'm going to ask you to take a level 2 harm of a gunshot wound.
Where does it shoot me?
It shoots you in the...
Sorry, what was that?
I don't know.
And then
We'll say...
yes.
Is this a wing shot on my shoulder?
Yes, we'll say shoulder. Shoulder's
Okay.
a good spot.
Shot in the shoulder.
Aim for the body, moving
Yeah.
boat. You got hit. But you're away, and they don't have a way to chase you.
Rat, you out too.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll
This
go
is
see your doctor
maybe more
friend.
than I bargained for, but
I have physical friend.
Oh, let's get home.
Lena is fanning herself with her tricorn hat. I need a drink.
Well, that's it. You've done
Yeah.
it. You've made it away.
Hey!
Our first heist!
With a not insignificant amount of some extra coin.
Hey!
We got all 8.
We got
Yes.
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 Elena was saying try for 3 or 4. We took a fair amount of stress for this, and we've taken some harm, so it was a bit costly.
We needed to have a big heist for our crew to start establishing ourselves as the professional pirates.
We're going to have to spend our coin quick because we don't have any way to hold on to it.
Don't worry, I have ideas.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's take a look at how well you guys did.
Okay.
What's the payoff of your success?
I'm going to pull out our crew sheet here for our smugglers so I can start marking things down. Currently where we stand, we have 0 heat, 0 wanted level, 1 coin in our vault, no rep, because we are a tier 0 crew.
Your payoff, as per discussed with Elena, You meet your contact and you deliver 4 containers of unprocessed Leviathan blood. And the payment is paid out. You get 4 coin in exchange for this delivery.
Do we by chance get more coin for having delivered more?
Well, the more was with Elena. She was going to
Oh,
she has a different
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and roll a fortune roll right now to see how much Elena can get for you. At most, she can get you another 4 coin. At worst, it will be 2 coins. So 1 to 3, you get 2 coin. 4 to 5, you get 3 coin. At 6, you get 4 more coin. That is 2. Her contact wasn't able to sell as quickly as they thought, so you only get 2 extra coin.
Oh, well.
I mean, that's
I
okay.
want it
It's
back.
bonus.
It is still bonus.
You want it back. I'm sorry, Kane. That's not how that works.
I will find contact. Get it back.
You're going to beat them up?
All right.
That's
Now
an
for your
option.
crew's reputation. At base, you earn 2 reputation per score by default. If the target of the score is a higher tier, you take 1 more rep per tier higher. If it's lower, you take -1.
Who are we going against? Was it the
The
blue
blue
coats?
Coats, right?
It was probably the blue coats, because there was a blue coat set up on the ship.
And there were no other groups because technically the crew and the captain,
They work for the aristocrat, the noble.
right,
Mhm.
and they were in on our plan.
The blue coats, I believe, are a tier 4.
Really?
Ooh.
Tier 3, I
Okay.
lied.
I was like-
gonna
Okay.
say, I was like, didn't think they were that high.
No, you're right. They're not that amazing. So you guys are tier 0. So we would add 3 rep to that, I believe.
Cool.
And then finally, if you keep the operation completely quiet so no one knows about it, you earn 0 rep. Are you going to tell people? Are you going to spread the word? Or is this hush hush?
Oh, we're gonna
I think we're going to spread the word.
spread it a bit. This was our debut.
Quips is probably going to not be as upfront about it. She's going to
Sure, we're
tell
not-
select people.
We're not gonna be stupid about
Okay.
this.
Okay.
I'll
Then
go
yes.
ahead and say modestly add 1 more rep to that total.
Cool.
Yay.
Now we have to determine the heat that the crew gained
Mm.
from this.
That gave us 6 rep total on this.
Ooh.
That leaves us 3. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Wait. I was marking heat.
Oh. Whoa.
That's
Oh,
a
that's-
very different problem.
But this is better though.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just filled our rep.
Woo.
Did you really?
I think
Yep.
so. These ones, and then there's turf.
Ah, yes. So you are probably about halfway across. Acquiring turf will help you get rep sooner, but right now you still need to fill up those turf markings
Okay,
before you can level up.
sure. So we're halfway.
We're
though.
halfway there.
Whoa.
Living on a prayer.
All right, the heat. There are several possible levels. At 0 heat, it was a smooth and quiet operation with low exposure. For 2 heat, it was contained for standard exposure. 4 heat, loud and chaotic. 6 heat, wild and devastating exposure.
Probably 2.
Yeah.
But we also get +2 because of the devil's bargain.
We were very smooth, but we did start making noise with kicking doors and such things.
And they got a shot off.
Yeah. But it was pretty well contained. Like, we weren't chased out.
Yeah. Very well contained, but the devil's bargain.
I will agree with that. 2 heat plus 2 more from the bargain. We would also add 1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target. I mean, a Leviathan hunter. That's a high profile. Word gets around that a Leviathan hunter was robbed.
You did say that nobody did that, really.
It was a secret that would help us later. Add 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. Not really.
Not really, no.
Add 1 heat if you're at war with another faction. No.
Nope.
Add 2 heat if killing was involved. No one died.
Hey, we succeeded.
Wow.
We are at 1, 2, 3, 4,
5 heat.
5 heat, leaving us 4 remaining.
Well done, gang. Now I believe we need to settle entanglements and team experience. Let's do the experience first, shall we?
Yeah.
I don't believe anyone made any desperate actions.
Nope. We were all pretty standard on this.
Let's see. Let's just start with Hicks. Ander.
Yeah. Looking on my list, I get XP every time I roll a desperate action at the end of each session For each item below, mark 1 XP, or 2 XP if that item required multiple times. Addressing a challenge with stealth or evasion.
That happened several times.
Yeah, that was kind of the modus operandi here.
I would say that's definitely worth 2 experience.
Cool. So I can put that in either my playbook or an attribute.
Correct.
I'm honestly going to drop that into my prowess. I'm going to put both of those there because I realized that I wanted my finesse back.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
At any point, did you express your beliefs, your drives, your heritage, or your background?
I haven't really defined beliefs or drives necessarily,
Okay,
but certainly I would say background. Seeking out my buddies on the dock and leveraging that for knowing about like the cargo hold and such things.
I'll buy the cargo hold. I'm not sure I can buy Roddy and Robbie.
Sure. Yeah.
So you get 1 experience for
Sure,
that.
I will take it.
At any point, did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas?
No. That's it for me on personal experience.
All right. Svetlana, a.k.a. Kane. How about you?
You addressed a challenge with violence or coercion. Can I make an argument that me bashing the machines twice would count?
I would accept that, yes.
Hooray.
So there's 1 experience.
I did it twice. I rolled twice.
I think because it was the same thing, you're only going to get 1 out of it. I'm so very sorry.
That's okay. Next one, you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Not really. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session? Nope. I got 1.
Now, your turn, Lena.
The first one is you addressed a challenge with deception or influence. This wasn't a heist that required deception or influence, so no.
Okay.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Because we had talked about the Leviathan Hunter ship being very similar as far as layouts and holds and things, and she is from a merchant family that had lots of ships and such things, that definitely played into this heist, her background.
Yes, I will buy that.
And then she did not struggle with any issues from her vice or trauma during the session. So that one is a no. Just 1 XP.
Yeah, I feel like anytime during the session we feel like we have to bargain a little bit, like, well, because my family does this or, such and thing, that's when that comes into play.
Right.
I will always be up to hear an argument for more experience.
You are just a simple Southern rules lawyer.
Is this the reputation I've earned now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy. While you guys didn't get a whole lot of player experience for this heist, you guys made out like bandits in the coin.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
reputation.
We have more coin than we
Yeah.
can hold, honestly. We're going to have to split it up amongst us.
It's incredible. Now we have to give your crew experience. Firstly and foremostly, your crew-specific experience. I believe for smugglers, it's execute a smuggling operation.
It is execute a smuggling or acquire new clients or contraband sources. We certainly smuggled. The canisters are not necessarily contraband.
They are now.
They're not normally. I would be willing to say yes, they are contraband.
Because they were frozen assets.
Yes.
Here's a thought. I mean, not that we're going to get more XP for this,
'Cause
but
it's the
just
same
like,
thing.
would this be a future source that we can continue coming back to this?
This particular Leviathan Hunter ship.
Very possibly, depending on how long the assets remain frozen. As long as you guys have a source you can give it to, Elena seems to have a decently reliable source, though it's not always the most valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Robbing a stranded Leviathan hunter. What an interesting thought. I'll have to dwell on that. For the purposes of experience, 1 experience for now.
Yes.
Contending with challenges above your current station.
Because the blue coats are a tier 3? Is that what that
Yes.
means?
I believe that's what
Yes.
that means, yes. So take another experience for your crew.
Okay.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Review your crew's reputation, your professional reputation. Did you do anything to promote it?
We can during downtime.
We haven't yet, so
Yeah,
for
I
the
don't-
purpose of this session,
Yeah,
no.
we didn't. No.
Okay, we will go ahead and skip that.
We didn't particularly play up how professional we are.
No.
You did get in and out without any explosions, cause, or fuss,
Yeah.
without much trouble. They don't really know who you are. They just know that something happened.
We didn't blow up the ship. We didn't blow up any other of the cargo.
Nope.
We didn't kill anyone.
Nope.
It's very possible the Bluecoats will go back and report, yeah, there was a boat that came up to us in the middle of the night during this weird fireworks session, but we scared them off. I'm pretty sure Lenny got a shot off on one of them. And that's that.
Would that count then as, I guess it's probably closer to our essential nature of our crew then, of doing those things.
Possibly. Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. I would say yes. Go ahead and take an experience for that.
That's us getting off scot-free and handling ourselves well.
Like professionals.
Because we're professionals.
So we're sitting at 3 XP of 10 total on that. So we're about a third of the way.
Go ahead and take a 4th crew XP just because I feel like it.
Sure.
Yay. I will not look a gift horse in the mouth.
So,
Thank
I mean,
you, kind and generous Jim?
Yeah, close enough.
Keeper?
Just say GM, please.
So that's the results. That has been our game and heist of Blades in the Dark.
fantastic.
Woo!
That was a lot of fun. Neil, thank you for running that.
Yeah.
Thank you all for hanging with me. I would be amenable to maybe doing this again in the future.
I'll have to bring Lena back.
Yes!
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
You'll have to find out more of her backstory. Because she has a backstory. I just didn't have time to express it.
Yeah, but that'll have to be done later. For now, I guess it's bye from all of us.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Power Word Crit. We super appreciate you sticking around and feeding that algorithm. Now, if you enjoyed our episode, please take the time to tell your friends and family about us. We don't pay for advertising, so that's the best way you can help us grow. If you want to hear more from us, or have something to say to us, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Tumblr, and X, all at PowerWordCrit. Or you can send us an email at powerwordcrit@gmail.com. Also, you can check out our website, powerwordcrit.com, for character art and bios. Thanks.